McDom, you tapped in with PPhilms. What's the word?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? We here to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. First thing first, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Listen, I want to start this off by saying thank you for coming on my platform and giving me the opportunity to help tell your story. All right.
Of course.
Let's first I want to talk about explain the company, explain the name, give me how you came up with the name, the definition of the name. What does it mean?
McDom, MCDOM, stands for Music Can Depend on Me, meaning bringing real music and real artistry back to the music industry. So my son named it. I said to him too, because that's his nickname, what should I name the company? He was like, Mommy, you're always helping people. Music can depend on me. And that's just been the name. And we just ran with it. McDom Media, McDom Pics, McDom Customs, McDom Clothing, McDom Models. It's like everything is McDom. We're in a company of itself. It's nothing that we cannot do. And there's nothing we can't do. Born and raised in Mount Vernon, New York. Yeah. I was born into music. The late Tammy Terrell, a family member of mine. My cousins from Mount Vernon, Kenny and Tommy Guest, the Young Guns. I've been around them with music. I sang in the choir for church. I just was around music my whole entire life. Yeah. In 2011, I started becoming a personal assistant for Young God Boy King and Cartel from Mount Vernon, which are my husband's brother and cousin. Wow. And we had a situation to where we went to go buy a car at Acura, and the car that they sold us was like a piece of shit. Yeah. So we had to wind up going back to Acura and stuff like that. My husband and I were having a conversation about what we were going to do with certain funds with the company. And one of the salespersons overheard us speaking about that. And they asked us, what are you going to do? And I said, we're going to start a record label or whatever. And he was like, you got artists? We were like, yeah. He was like, let me hear some music. And at the time, we were doing some endeavors with Trigger Trab. He had a song called One Night. Mm-hmm. And he picked up the phone and he made a phone call and he went to hand me the phone. And I looked at him like, and he handed it to my husband. I shied him to my husband, and my husband spoke to the person that was on the other line, and that was Gene Nelson from Atlantic Records at the time. And at the time, he was managing Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Drake, and a lot of other people, like Jay Crane. He had a bunch of people, a lot of people. Yeah. And we set up a meeting with him to go let him listen to the music and stuff like that. And he liked it. So we put a passion project together where we were working with multiple artists, and we opened up the door to a lot of artists to the situation that we had on the table. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, the car salesman, used to be a Rough Rider, and he put us on with his friend Sincere, which used to be the DJ for Rough Riders Radio, which now he has his own radio platform with the Bronx Boys, and he's a big part of my team as well. And it just went from there. We were offered a production deal situation, and we just went full throttle from there. We got cameras and vinyl machines, heat presses, everything. Any and everything that you need to run a company, we have it. We don't have to outsource for nothing.
How do you even meet Blockwork? How does that start?
Well, I was originally looking for an artist out in Connecticut where I live at by the name of YP Savage that lived in the Green Projects in Bridgeport. And I was very adamant on meeting this young man because I loved his style, I loved his energy, and I really wanted to work with him. And I'm in the living room, and my son comes out of his room, and he goes, Ma, there's an artist I want you to see. He's next up. And I'm like, oh, God. So he turns the TV on, because some of the stuff, I swear, I can't stand it. Mm-hmm. And he puts him up on the TV, and then he starts saying, he's Shaiga, he's Ida, he's this one, he's that one, this is Blockwork. So I'm like, okay. So I said to my son, if he answers, no problem. Because at the time, I was printing out shirts for Munna. I had to take them to a video shoot with Ron Suno and Rowdy Rebel when they did the What They're Gonna Say Part 2 video shoot, the remix to it. So I was busy doing that. So I just shied my son off. And next thing you know, a couple of days later, my son was like, Ma, he answered. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay. So I spoke to him via text message, not on the phone. And I texted him, do you have management? Have you signed any paperwork with anyone? What is your situation?
Yeah.
And he stated that he didn't have management. He didn't sign any paperwork with anyone. I asked him, did he have BMI? I asked him about a bio. Like I ran down all the basic questions, and, you know, he didn't have any of those things, allegedly.
Yeah.
So I sent him a basic contract for a year, and I sent it to him, and in 2 seconds, he signed it via DocuSign on a Rocket Lawyer.
Yeah.
And from that point on, he would text me, and he would ask me to go with him to the studio. And I was kind of shying him away a little bit because, again, I wanted to work with YP Savage, and I still was working with Zay. And at the time, Zay had a show coming up in April up in Binghamton. So I was trying to get that stuff together as well, where I had him and Ronsuno booked. So my focus wasn't really over there. So then he texted me again, and he asked me if I had $40 on my Cash App card because he was at the studio and his Opps came and he really needs to get out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I don't want nothing to happen to this kid. I never met this kid. And the person that I am, I sent him a picture of my card, front and back. Full name, address, everything. Here, baby, if you could get out of there, get out of there. Like $40, I don't care nothing about that. And I still went on about my way. So I guess after that, he had an interview at 105.1 with the young lady there. And he called me and he said, hey, I have an interview on Sunday. Are you able to take me? So I said to my husband, all right, come on, let's go take him. So that's when we pulled up in Harlem at his house, picked him up, took him down there, walked around the city. We made jokes about being in the fashion district that was, you know, all the fake clothes and stuff outside. I was amazed. Like, yeah, it's so much stuff out there. And he says, nobody can see me out here. They're going to think I'm buying clothes. And, you know, we laughed and we joked. And I bought a bootleg watch. I ain't going to lie. I bought a $60 Rolex or whatever. I was like, all right, cool, you know.
Yeah.
So we did the interview. He bodied the freestyle. And I'm like, okay, you know, he's kind of cool. So I kind of opened up a little bit more. And as we're riding, he letting us hear music and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so what's your situation? What is it that you want? What is it that you want to do? How many of it are you? Do you have other artists up underneath you? So he started letting me hear other music with more of his friends and stuff like that, and other music that he did that was out that I didn't know about. And from that point on, we just grew a bond. And the next thing you know, I told him, look, come up to my house, bring your laptop, and let me see your YouTube page. Let me see if you can monetize your YouTube page, because if you have all these streams and stuff like this, then there's a way that you can collect funds from YouTube. So he came up to the house. We went to an event for Chicano. It was his birthday, and we went down to Coney Island and we hung out with him, his brother, and all of that. And after that, the next day he came up to the house and we did the monetization to his page, and then he was just with me from that day forth. So from that day up until August 10th, he was my shadow and I was his shadow. Yeah.
Now, upon working with him, right, like, did you ever, because obviously we see things kind of got to where they are now. Did you ever see signs along the way of I don't know, like there's red flags, I should say. Were there any red flags?
There were a lot of red flags because I'm very inquisitive, and I started listening to certain things. I would listen to Murder B. I would listen to Tata. I would listen to Jen Carter. I would listen to KVH. He had did an interview. I can't remember who it was, but he had did an interview as well. And I started reaching out. And I started reaching out to different people to ask questions. You understand what I'm saying? I started reaching out to want to ask questions because, all right, my bosses are not telling me nothing. They're just telling me to get this kid to this, get all of these termination papers, get all these release papers, and do all of this stuff so that they can move to the next level. But what happened? What's going on? What am I getting myself into? Like, listen, this is a lot of time and effort being put forth for this. So as I started questioning him on things that I'm hearing, he would get adamant. He would get upset.
Okay.
And at the time, he was fighting a case with Sugar Hill Keem, and he told me, I didn't rat. So I'm going to automatically believe him 100% because I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And my son showed me the video on YouTube. Look, Ma, he didn't rat, he didn't say anything or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so they're putting false accusations on this young man. And I know how it is to have things said about you that's not true. So it made me feel bad for him. Like, wow, you know, like I really got to help this kid. So from there, we reached out to the labels because what is the problem? Why can't this kid just catch a break? Like, he's talented.
Yeah.
He's streaming the numbers. He by himself, no features, no label, no anything. So I finally figured out what it was. I got a phone call and I was told he needs release paperwork from KVH and he needs release papers from Warner. Okay. So I go to him and I'm like, listen, Amani, I'm being told that you need paperwork from Warner, you need paperwork from KVH.
At that, sorry to cut you off, at that point, was there ever a conversation of like, hey, in the beginning you told me you weren't signed to anybody?
Yes, and he told me he didn't sign no paperwork. He swore he didn't sign no paperwork. So I went off this young man's word until I got the termination agreements from Groundrec and from KVH. So you're going to sign these papers, and I'm saying, let's go get a lawyer. Let's sue them, because if they took your money from YouTube from December all the way up to how many months they took your money, and they're taking your money from your whole catalog prior to me, and now with the work that I did with you, there's an issue. There's a problem. What's going on? And he's adamant. He would call Max. He would text Max, be rude, arrogant, nasty, cursing him out.
Max is from
Groundrec.
Okay.
He runs Groundrec over there, and he's a part of like Warner, all the other labels. But listen, the industry is very small.
Yeah.
Everybody's in one circle together. Max is a sweetheart. And I said to Max, Max, please, can you get me a phone call with Keyshawn? Because I need to know what's going on. I'm being told this boy is sleeping in cars at Keyshawn's house. I'm being told he was down in, Brooklyn with Bankroll Booner, and they had situations because of certain things that he was doing. My safety is at risk when I'm outside with this young man, which, you know, I'm 46 years old. I'm not going to let nothing happen to him if he's with me. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same token, I need to know what's going on.
Cool.
So the more I questioned him, the more he got upset. So from December on, he was like very like arrogant, saying like little smart things, putting little smart things on the internet. Until he calls me, he goes, Kia. And I was like, what's wrong? I go run into the room. I'm like, what's wrong? He goes, look, Warner's taking my money from YouTube ever since December 15th. I said, well, didn't I tell you, don't give nobody your YouTube information, your this, your that. He made someone admin over there. And because he made them admin, he really did sign paperwork with Warner, and he signed paperwork with KVH. And he said he didn't do it. Wow. Then a story comes out. Oh, my brother and I, we went to KVH, allegedly did whatever they did or said whatever they said, and he burned it in the front of us. But months ago, sweetheart, you told me there was no paperwork. You signed no paperwork. There's nothing.
So he's saying months ago with my brother, we signed the paperwork with KVH, but KVH burned it.
Right. Him and his brother went back over there, and allegedly his brother made KVH burn the paperwork, so there is no contract. So I'm saying, listen, anybody could print out a piece of paper and burn it. I could burn 30 contracts, but you still have that one contract with your signature on it. And when you have a signature on things, there's certain obligations that you have to do. So then I went to my superiors. Okay, what is it that this kid have to do to get out these situations so we can move on to the next level? Because again, I want to go find YP Savage, and I don't have time to be dealing with this stuff. And then Zay is in jail. He's dealing with what he's dealing with. I got my son getting ready to go to college. So it was like a lot of different things going on. Warner / Groundrec. They wanted 5 songs, no samples, no nothing, just straight beats, stems, whatever. So my husband, he makes beats. Okay. So I go to my husband. I'm like, hey, look, this is a situation. Can you help? So Amani goes downstairs with my husband. He picks 5 beats. My husband sets up the equipment, stays up all night long, recording him, mixing it, putting it together to put it into a zip file to get it to Warner. Because they said, listen, you give us this, then we'll give you X amount of money to get out of your situation, and then you can move forward. Okay. When we received the paperwork from Warner, we get the paperwork from KVH as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he not signing this. He gonna have to prove to me that this boy signed this paperwork. I want to see his signature. I want to see his handwriting. I'm gonna get a handwriting specialist. All of that stuff, because you're not gonna steal from him. You're not gonna rob him. This is not right. What are y'all trying to do to him? So I go to Amani and I'm like, listen, look, this is what he's saying. These are the songs and stuff that he's demanding, that he said that they funded you for and you're responsible for. So to get out of this, you have to sign this, you have to sign this, you can't speak about it, and it just goes away from there. So I said, listen, my thing is, let's contact the attorney. He says, okay. I contacted the attorney, sent them all the paperwork. We were going to start the process, and then Amani says, I'll just take X, Y, and Z money, I'll sign the paperwork. And I'm like, are you sure? He says, I'll sign. No problem. I mean, you know what you did prior to me.
Yeah.
So all those times I'm thinking like, okay, what else is going to pop up? Because everybody's telling me, yo, there's other deals out there. There's other things out there that he has obligations to, and he's not fulfilling them.
Yeah.
So now I'm asking more questions. I'm reaching out to more people. I'm talking to my affiliates and like, yo, please, can y'all tell me what's going on? Don't leave me on the dark on this one. This is not fair.
Yeah. Did you ever get any answers? Like you say, you reached out to KVH.
Yes, I did. They wanted KVH. He never responded back to me, which is fine. Okay. I got the paperwork signed for him. He has whatever stuff that he has. I showed you all that stuff. I showed you all the paperwork from Warner and stuff like that. And then there was something else out there, the song with D&D. It was a big argument. Shaike got signed with D&D. It was my song. We were at a studio in a building, and it was my studio session. He only had a couple of seconds of the song. It's not fair, this and that. So of course, I'm going to go to bat for him. I'm going to help him. They send me over a contract stating that he's the second writer on the song, and Shaike is the first writer on the song.
So just break it down for us. So first writer, second writer, who gets more? Who gets ownership?
First writer, it's your song.
Gotcha.
Second writer is feature.
Gotcha.
So therefore, we broke it down to where Amani gets 30% of D&D and Shaike gets 20% of D&D.
Okay, when you switched it.
Yes, when we switched it. So at first they sent us the paperwork and it was reversed. Yep. And I showed you that.
Yeah.
And then I showed you the corrected paperwork that I had corrected.
Yeah. Now Blockwork becomes primary.
He's the first writer. It's his song. It was it's his song. Everybody admits to it.
Yeah.
They sign off on it. So now the producer, him and Shaike, will now get their proper splits whenever the royalties and stuff is paid out for that song. So I did that as well. I negotiated that as well.
Blockwork get 30, Sha gets 20, the producer gets 50.
Yeah, no, the producer gets 50, Blockwork gets 30, Shaike gets 20, and myself and whomever the person was that helped me do whatever we needed to do, we broke it down 5 and 5. So I get 5% and he gets 5% for putting it together.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, with that record, there's so many, there's such a big mystery behind that song.
D&D, from my understanding, it was a diss song, not Do Not Disturb, because I've asked so many questions. I don't know the history of it.
Yeah, it's a diss song.
It was just a pain in the behind, because that what was hindering this young man from getting anywhere, because he was still had these obligations that were over here that he couldn't get out of. So they were taking the money from his YouTube page from December up into whatever time that was. So I contacted my officials and I'm like, listen, hello, from 41K all the way up to Laybop 1 and 2 on out. Those 11, 12 videos from that point on are mine. So you need to release this boy's YouTube page, because I'm entitled to whatever portion that money is supposed to be. Yeah. So
you're right now you're reaching out to Warner.
I'm reaching out to Warner. Yeah, okay. I'm reaching out to Warner, whatever, and whatever other contacts that I have on the inside that work with me, that help me get him out of all of this stuff. Yeah. And like, you know, a couple of people were kind of adamant about it, because they like, why are you helping him? He's this, he's that. And the more they spoke bad about him, the more I helped them. It's like it made me help him even more. The more they would slander him, the more I would help him. The more they would slander him on TV, the more I would help him. So I would go even harder. I was just about to book a dentist appointment with him to help him get his teeth fixed and get his credit together, get him a car, get him an apartment. Because I tell all my artists, if home is is not right. You can't do music. So I was making him stable so he can go off and take care of himself if this record deal stuff does not pan out. Because every door that opened, I would get a message, oh this, oh that, and I would go to him and be like, okay, well, what's up with the sweepers? Well, what's up with this? Well, what's up with that?
What's the story with that? Like you?
Well, it was a label that was interested. They loved the music. They were interested in signing him. And I get a message back and they say to me, what's his deal with the sweepers? I was like, who's the sweepers?
Yeah. Now at this point, is that record label signed? Did they sign the sweepers or?
They didn't sign the sweepers yet. The sweepers just got signed, but they were a subject at the time.
Gotcha.
So you know the time period, and the sweepers know the time period when they start calling you and stuff like that, and you're going viral. This was right before they got arrested. Right before then, it was like right before, because as soon as they got arrested, I sent my officials the ad, and I was like, see, he didn't have nothing to do with nothing. It was them, the troublemakers, and it wasn't. So here I go again, looking like a fool. Like, okay, they knew more than what I knew, or whatever. So when I asked him about the sweepers, he says, oh, that's the boys down there by the park where I can't go for the video shoot that you want to shoot, because I wanted to shoot a video in the Polo Grounds in the Ruckus Park. And he was like, we can't go in there. And I'm like, why? He was like, if I go in there, they're going to flock at me. And I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I need an Ebonics dictionary because I don't know what these words are. And I was like, well, we can't go in there for 2 seconds. He was like, no, we need security. We need this. We need that. And I was like, is it really that serious? He was like, it's really that serious. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And now I know, okay, those are the boys that he can't deal with. So I called my superiors and I still said, oh, no, there's no problem. And then everything went ghost. So I was like, oh, okay, I know what that is. So, I mean, it was just like a closed door after closed door after closed door after closed door. So I said to him, I said, okay, you can't get booked. Every time we go to do a booking for you, the 33rd precinct calls a different state and say things about you to where I had to go file reports on them to stop saying these things about him so that I could get him booked, so I could make him money. So I said, I'm going to reach out to Famous Richard. Let's see if you guys could work together, do a little skit together or something like that to help bring your views up, help bring his views up and stuff like that. And he was like, all right. So I reached out to Richard. Richard was like, yeah, we done booked like multiple studio sessions to go meet with this young man. He's like really cool. And he didn't want to do it because I don't want to do music with artists that are not on my level or not more lit than me. And I'm like, more lit than you? This boy's lit. Like, what are you talking about? So we're going back and forth. He's at home, which is my house. And I'm in the car with my husband. We're driving from where we're driving from. And I'm texting him. And I was like, listen, you need to take your head off the cloud. You have to stop thinking that someone owes you something. And you have to stop thinking that you can't do music with other people because you're so lit. Lit where? If you do the song with this young man, you'll have his fans in Chicago. He'll have your fans here in New York. And it'll be a good look. And it'll show that somebody really accepted you to work with you. Like, you're making this real difficult. So then he texts me back and he says, you think you know everything? And I was like, I do. So he goes, you don't know this? And I'm like, what? And I was like, I do know. So one of my family members wanted me to tell that, you know, he snitched on them for no reason. It had nothing to do with the situation. It had nothing to do with the conversation. It clearly had something to do with why not do the song with Richard? Now you're reaching out to him trying to do the song. Why? And then it was the same thing with Ja Osama. How I met him, he called me. He said that Block said, you know, I want my manager to manage you, this, that, and the fourth. The young man, he was a blessing. Then he was supposed to fly out here from Detroit to do the Lay Bop song. Him and Blockwork were supposed to do Lay Bop, the Lay Bop song together. And whatever happened, Block started or he started, whatever happened, it went back and forth to where they were going back and forth, but nothing too bad. And then next thing you know, Blockwork went and did the song. And I said, well, what happened to Ja? He can't come here. He's not from here. He never lived here. He's just a fan. He never lived in New York. He lives from Detroit. He lives in Detroit or whatever. He don't know nobody. He don't know Nadi. He don't know Eli. He don't know nobody. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, is this a fan? Is this somebody that don't know nobody? And I was about to let this young man come in my house and be a part of whatever. And then I blocked Ja because I was like, all right, I don't know if they're trying to set him up or whatever. And his safety is more important than anything. So a month or so goes by and he comes to me and he goes, you know what? I think I do need to do that song with Ja Osama now. You could unblock him or whatever. You know, it was a misunderstanding. Me and him made up. We spoke and everything like that. So I'm like, okay. I unblocked Ja and I texted him and he was like, listen, my heart, because of you, I respected you and I didn't go back and forth with him, this, that, and the fourth, etc. And that's where that stopped right there. So that's where we at now. And then after all of this stuff happened, Ja was supposed to fly out here, which he did, and he is with me. Amani says, I don't care if you work with her, which I'm still in contract with Amani. I showed you that.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't care if you work with her or whatever, just keep her away from me or whatever. And then when he gets here, he said, word to E-Dot, I got you, don't worry. I'm going to take care of you when you get here. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. To Ja. Yeah. And then when he gets here and he see him go live with me, you ghost him. Why? Oh, he don't want her talking to me and this and that. Tell her she could go die, she could stop breathing and stuff like that. Really? When I sat in the hospital with you, when you try to do things to yourself, you say that to me and about me when I was there for you, when your own mother wasn't? Yeah. When your own friends turned their back on you? How would you say something like that about me? You started arguments in my house with my children and my husband and everybody. Everybody feuding because of what you're saying. And I'm taking your side instead of their side because, oh no, he's telling the truth. And he wasn't. Like everything that came out his mouth was a lie. And then once I spoke to his mom, that's when more doors opened up. And then when I got the phone call from his brother, and his brother was going crazy on the phone, I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong.
Yeah, then his brother was now basically speaking
Dre was
against...
home. He wasn't incarcerated at the time.
Yeah.
And he called with an issue that he had, and he was very upset. And, you know, some things he said, my brother's a user, don't help him, don't this, don't that.
So basically, you're feeling like...
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? What did I get myself into?
He's talking about all the people he's cool with. He's now talking bad about them. He's cool with this person. He talks bad about them. So
right,
there's
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, because I was working with Debo, which is one of his friends. Debo and my Kev, they're the only ones that will come out and do videos with him. So I'm like, yo, if these are your real friends, then, you know, you treat them accordingly. You're starting to make money now. Debo's about to have a baby. He has a video with you. He has a song with you. Register the music correctly. Let him get his points. Let him get his money because he's going to need it. And it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
That's not my friend. They'll rob me. You don't know nothing. I gave people everything. They just want to use me. And I'm looking at him like, this is not what you do when we down in Harlem.
Yeah.
My brother, but behind closed doors up here in my house, you're trashing these boys. And they're the only ones that's putting their neck on the line for you. Something that happened, and I get a phone call, and they're calling me. And I was like, well, what's going on? They told me what's going on. I go knock on the door. I tell them what's going on. Oh, niggas need to get out the hood. Niggas need to do better. And I'm looking at him like, are you serious? And from that point on, I started like backing down and shying away. Like, all right, I'm not going to the city with him. I'm not going to the video shoots. And I stopped kind of like posting him and resharing his stuff. And then like a lot of people hit me, oh, do you still manage Blockwork? And I'm like, yeah, I still manage him. But the stuff that's being said and the stuff that's being done, I'm not feeling it. Like you're one way in the front of the camera, and when those cameras go off, you're totally different. Just like when his friend E-Dot passed away. After E-Dot passed away and stuff like that, and he did the video and stuff, allegedly his sister reached out. Allegedly there's some unreleased music that the label doesn't have, and he was adamant about getting his hands on it to be on that music so he can be up. And I'm looking at him like, that's your friend. You sat in here and cried, and the only thing you worried about is this boy's unreleased catalog so that you could be up. And from that point on, like my husband Ben was disgusted. So he wouldn't go certain places. After he did whatever he did to that certain family member, they didn't want to be bothered or whatever. So
could you talk about what he did, or is
he snitched on someone in my family on something, and they were really upset about it because again, it had nothing to do with them. I was speaking about Richard, and it had nothing to do with that person. So why would you even bring that up if I'm speaking about Richard? Or because he said that I thought I knew everything. He thought I didn't know what was going on. And he told or whatever. It has nothing to do with my husband or nothing like that. It was just, you know, and they want to make sure that they know he told. And then the icing on the cake was him and Melody was in a room. And at this time, they was like starting to pack up stuff because I had got them their own place and they was due to move. And I said to him, I said, Amani, I was told that you were down in the studio and a situation happened, a gun came out allegedly, and you called the police to mediate the situation. And this is why your friends are really not dealing with you. Like, what is it that we can do to fix this? Yeah. And he went ballistic. Why are you talking to them? Why are you listening to anything that they said? That did not happen. I said, I'm being told this by multiple people.
Yeah, this is a story. Basically, now, I guess, yeah.
Outside of me speaking to whomever I spoke to an executive that co-signed it, allegedly. Yeah. So I'm going with what the more important person says, because if he says it and this one says it, then it's allegedly so. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that point, he was like really upset because Mel's sitting there. So I guess he's thinking that, damn, now she done told her that I done did this. Yeah. And at the time, he was with the label. So they was trying to sweep it up underneath the rug because it would hurt his image because he already had the allegations of him telling on Keem. Yeah. So it was just a lot of stuff that was coming out. And as I'm questioning him about it, it's like he's getting more upset. He's getting, because, you know, you can't keep lying. Yes. Point blank, period. Yeah. So when I spoke to his mom, that's when like the icing on the cake was laid out for me. She like laid out a lot of stuff. She answered a lot of questions.
What was some of the things she was, I guess, expressing to you about?
Well, one, I know why he came to stay with me. Allegedly, as per his mom, they have an order of protection against one another, and he's not supposed to be near his mother.
Oh, wow.
So that was one of the reasons why he was with me. And she asked me, why did I care so much? And I was like, why wouldn't I? As a child, what mom would want to bury their kid? Yeah. You know, so the conversation that I had with her was a little bit heartfelt because I'm a mother, and some of the things that were stated, I didn't dig that. I'm a mom. I don't never want to bury my son. I don't never want to ask somebody, why would they care for my son or my child like that? I want people to love my kids. I want people to do for my kids. Yeah. So
what was your thoughts when you heard that he had an order of protection out on
if he could do it to his mother, he could do it to me, because he has threatened to call police before.
On you?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Allegedly, he was supposed to do a video shoot. He was supposed to get some girls or stuff like that, and he's supposed to hire the girls, pay them or whatever. Yeah. So he texts me, come here. I come upstairs in the room. What's going on? Oh, money's missing. What's missing? $2,000. And I was like, are you serious? So I'm saying to myself, is it, isn't it? Like, now my mind is everywhere. Is he telling the truth? Isn't he telling the truth? Oh my God, what's gonna happen? So I didn't say nothing to him. I left. I went down to Home Depot and I got the Waze camera and I put a camera in his room. So when you open up the door, you're looking directly at this camera. So you have to walk in the room to the camera and unplug it. It's connected to his phone. So anytime that door moves, anytime anything, that camera is going to go off. Okay? So I said, all right, now we're going to see what happens. Some more time go by and I get another text, kid, come here. It's time to do another video. I come upstairs, what's up? He throws his money all over the floor. My money is missing, $1,000 is missing, $150 is missing, $500 is missing. And I was like, well, pull the footage back on the camera. He looks at the camera's not on. I said, why the camera not on? I don't know, somebody unplugged it. I said, really? Pull the app up on your phone. It was $2.99. I said, take your card, pay the $2.99, pull the footage up. Wouldn't do it. Take my card, put my card in and pull the footage up. Let's see who did it. Because you have to be a bold MFer to walk into someone's room, look at a camera, unplug it, and do something like that. And then leave out of there because you're on camera, opening up the door, walking towards the camera to do whatever you did. He never paid the $3. He never, whatever. So then after speaking to a family member, after speaking to a mother, oh, the famous $2,000, oh, the famous this, oh, the famous that. Then I start getting messages and stuff like that from like his friends around the block and stuff. Oh yeah, he said you took $6,000 from him. Oh, he said you took $10,000 from him. Oh, he said you took $4,000 from him. I'm like, really? when I've never even taken a dime from this boy. He bought me one chicken sandwich from
Stop it.
No, this is not even funny, okay? It was me, him, and Mel. We had went to New Britain to the mall or whatever, and he bought me a Chick-fil-A sandwich. And he goes, "I'm broke now." You're broke now.
No way.
But wait a minute. You're on social media with rubber bands and bands that I'm giving you the rubber bands, okay?
Yeah.
That you're counting your money, you're rubber banding it, and I like to see him have fun. You understand what I'm saying?
Go crazy.
And I said, $3 over a chicken sandwich, Amani? And I was like, you ain't broke, shut up. And but in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I don't even want to eat this fucking sandwich, but I ate it and it was good too. And Mel looked at me and Mel like, yo, I don't even want to ask for nothing to eat if he acting like that or whatever. So I was just like, he's cheap. Like this boy is very cheap.
So the whole time you was working with him, you never took any money off of?
Nothing. $1 for maybe a water. We would go to Harlem. I would buy chopped cheeses. I would give him a couple of dollars. When he first came, I gave him $100. I gave him $300 or whatever for a video that he never got. That allegedly one of the cameramen shot it, didn't give him the footage. I never took nothing from that young man. I always wanted him to have, because I'm good. I have a house, I have a pension, I have 2 careers. I'm in the label. Like before you, I was doing bookings for other artists and doing other things. So it's best for you to do what you got to do. I'm all right. My kid is in private school. My daughter's doing what she's doing. My other daughter's doing what she's doing. My husband's doing what he got to do. What do I need from you? And I'm helping you. You smoked out my husband's, what do you call it, weed bucket, okay, where he puts his shake because he grows weed. You're smoking out that bucket for months when you didn't have nothing. I was with you when you was at your lowest point to your highest point. So why someone that was so genuine to you that you would do that? Down from when his friend was going to punch him in the face for smoking when we was at, we were going to Dave East's. Dave East wanted to see him or whatever. It was like it was an inside plug through one of my friends, Capo and Stacks. They said, bring him through to Davy's smoke shop or whatever the case may be. We took him down there. Everything was great the first time. We took him down there a second time. And I told him, don't deviate from the route. Bring your behind straight over there because, again, his safety is more important than anything. So we get there. He not there yet. Car pulls up. Here he come running down the street, like not really running down the street, but like, walking fast. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he's crying. He was like, my friend told me to come smoke with him. And I went to smoke with him and he tried to hit me with my glasses on. First, I wanted to laugh. I was like, is this kid serious? And then I'm looking at his cousin like, wait a minute, you was just with him and you let something like that happen? So I'm looking at my husband, I'm looking at my cousin. I'm like, yo, what we gonna do? We about to go back to that block or whatever and handle this. Like, what's going on? So he's crying and I just take my sleeves and I'm wiping the tears from him. And I was like, listen, we can't let Davey see this going on. Just put it together and let's just go on in here and handle this business because you don't want to mess up your endeavors with big people. So we go in there and someone in there is like, yo, make that nigga leave. And someone comes to me and was like, yo, they're not jacking him. They didn't block. They didn't.
What was it about?
It wasn't Dave. Dave was a sweetheart. His mom was a sweetheart. He was a sweetheart. It was just someone else that was in there that saw him in there and was like, no, what is he doing here? But his basketball coach was in there. His old basketball coach was in there and he spoke for him and was like, nah, he's not going nowhere. I used to coach him with basketball. He's good. Leave him alone. But from that point on, we never went back there because of that situation.
What was the issue they had with Blockwork that made them?
I didn't care. I didn't ask. His safety again. Let's go. Temperature's kind of crazy, and let's not go back there no more.
Gotcha. Damn. Now going back to the story with when he was in the studio or whatever, when he called you and said he needed $40 to leave or something about how he had to call the cops to get out of a situation. That, that's a story, I can't even lie, I've heard that story before,
I don't know if both of those stories are the same day, but I know when I got with him, I gave him my card because he told me that his ops pulled up to the studio and he needed to get an Uber out of there. So I gave him the front and the back of my card. I took a picture. I sent it to him, sent him all my information because I don't know how to use that stuff. And I said, look, register it, get out of there, just do your thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I even gave it to Ja too, so he could co-sign that I'm giving him my information as well. To if you need to get out of there and you need to be safe, do what you got to do. Call me stupid, call me dumb, I don't care. If God puts it in my heart or put me in a situation to where I can help you, I'm gonna help you. That's just who I am.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can't deviate from my makeup and what God put me on this earth to do.
Yeah,
so.
no, for sure. Now that situation is different from. I guess you said.
I don't know if it was different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know I heard that story, but I got a story from him. He needed to get out of there. Oh, okay.
The thing I'm talking about is like when I guess it was a situation. So I've heard.
Allegedly, he was in the studio with his friends, a label executive, some other people, and a situation happened.
Yeah.
And allegedly, someone brandished a weapon, and to deviate de-escalate the issue, he called the police to have the police mediated, allegedly. But I've heard that from multiple places, and when I brought it to his attention, he was very upset with me, and he wanted to know why am I listening to these other people over him. He was like really mad. He was pissed.
And that's kind of the situation that made them say, okay, you know what? He might not have told on Keem, but in this situation, he did this, so this is why we want no parts of him. Right,
and then with the situation at the house with him alleging that someone stole from him, he was like, I'm going to call the police. I sent him the number. Here go Waterbury Police Department, call the police.
Yeah.
You got the camera footage, you got all the evidence you need to furnish whatever, and if somebody did do that, let's prosecute them, because I don't believe in that. Because one, that's embarrassing. That's in my home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't care who it was. Whoever it was, they're going to have to reap that punishment for doing whatever they did. And he would never pull the footage up. So, and then after speaking to his mom, after speaking to his cousin that he had just did wrong and took money from him when they were in Miami. So everything is like the $2,000 marker, the $1,000 marker. He would send someone $100, say he did $1,000, and then, you know, just certain situations just did not start. It just didn't rub me right. Because I'm like, the producers are reaching out to me. The picture art people are reaching out to me, and you're not paying these people. You're promising them that you're going to pay them. They're threatening to take things down. You have to stop. And that's how I met Jinkin. Producer Jinkin. He's 16 years old. He's from upstate New York. My husband and I sat with his parents and stuff like that. And you can't keep doing music and not putting these producers' information, their IPI numbers, or even shouting them out, because they're looking for your song to blow to make them the next it. So you're not trying to put them on, no clout off of you. And why would you want to manage him for if I want another beat again or something and don't want to pay him? You're managing him. And I'm looking at him like, you little...
Wow.
You know?
So why was he not paying them? Like, what was his...
He does not want to pay nothing. He does not want to pay nothing. He has never paid for any video with Carlos. I made an agreement with Carlos to do a certain amount of videos for a certain amount of money. When stuff started going left, I told Carlos, I'm not taking care of this tab no more. And when that day come for me to do whatever, then you'll be compensated. So Carlos knows once that day come and that date that I told him, he'll be compensated. So I said to Shot by Express, I said, is he paying you? Is he taking care of you? No, this is what happened. I am so lying. I said that Carlos and I had an argument because Carlos is like, wait a minute, Shot by Express is getting paid. I'm not getting paid. And I was like, that's not true. And he was like, yes, it is, because Shot by Express told me he's getting paid. And I was like, all right, I got to figure out what's going on. So Shot by Express, he texted me. He said he had an artist and he wanted the artist to do a feature with Amani. So I says, you know, he charges a fee, right? Because he told me to charge everybody $10,000 that wanted to do a feature with him. And as his manager, I have to say what he wants. So Shot by Express says to me, why would he want a fee for me when he never paid for not one video? So now in the back of my head, I'm like, this little is telling me that he's paying for these videos from these boys, and they're traveling from Jersey, from Brooklyn, from Queens, from New York to Connecticut, to here, to there, with Ubers and trains and rain and sleet and snow and ice and hot and cold. Like, are you one video shoot? I paid for the Uber for his friends that willingly wanted to be in his video and participate. I paid for their Uber from their block to the park where we shot the video. You didn't even want them to get in the car because you had some girl that was in the car and you didn't want them to get in there. You wanted the girl to get in the car instead. And I was like, screw her. These are your friends. They want to be in the video. So I had them call an Uber and I paid for their Uber there. And then on the way back, and I gave them the money for the Uber, but they wanted to do whatever they wanted to do it. But now you're on your own. But they walked Carlos to the train station and that wasn't right. That wasn't fair. So it's just like so many different things that I'm seeing that you're doing is wrong. And he's like, yo, my mom told me to get it however I get it and don't give nobody nothing. And I'm like, what parent would teach their child that? Yeah. So then that started making me feel like I'm sacrificing, I'm helping him, I'm neglecting certain things to make sure that he is okay. And in your mind, it's get it how you get it and don't do nothing for nobody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute. And I just started shying away and backing away with little certain things. Like we went down to Stanford for a video shoot with a young man. I think he was like 16 years old. His dad brought him down there and some crazy stuff happened in the car. I got out the car, called my daughter because she works in Stanford and I said, come get me. And I got in the car with my daughter and went home. I'll leave you to figure that out because I'm not going to be a part of no more of your shenanigans because I'm a brand. Yeah. And I don't want to be a part of your stealing producer stuff and and footage and not wanting to do the right thing and wanting to be arguing and being adamant and aggressive and nasty to the people that are trying to help you. Yeah. I don't want to be a part of that. And I started seeing that side of him. And at first, I did not see that side of him. He was an angel. He was so sweet. He was so loving and caring. We had talks. We sat down and had talks. We laughed. We played cards. We played Monopoly. We watched movies. I even tried to get him to watch The Color Purple with me. He finally did a little bit. But, he was like, I'm old. I don't want to watch that old movie or whatever. But, I tried to be that support system. I tried to be that mom, that mentor, whatever it is that you wanted me to be. I was trying to be all of that in one. Because when you're a manager, you become a momager. Everything. You have to make sure everything is on point and everything is together. And, if your life is not right, you can't really do music.
I agree. Man, now let's talk about YouTube. He comes out, he says, hey, my manager took all my music down.
I didn't even see that he had posted that at first. Yeah. Like I stated, I got a text message from Mel. Mel's at work, which is Mel Bands, another artist that I manage, which is also at the present moment his significant other. Okay. I get a text message from her. She goes, something's wrong with Blocky's page. All his videos are saying hit him. I said, well, what did he do? I said, because he allegedly he went to go get a gaming system, but it's not a gaming system. It's a camera. Now I know. I thought he had a tower, but he only has a camera hooked to the Xbox. So I'm like, what did he do? Did he hide the videos? Like, what is he trying to pull? What stunt is he trying to pull? Because he said that he was going to paint his fingernails black and do all of this other stuff so that he could make it to No Jumper again. So I'm thinking this is just one of his moves. So she screenshot something to me that says 4 hours ago logged in and it says Microsoft. So I was like, what the hell is this? Windows or something like that. And I was like, well, where you at? She says, I'm at work. I said, what time you get off work? She told me. I said, all right, I'll meet you at the house at 11 because that was the time for her to be home and to be there. I got my stuff together. I got dressed, and in the back of my mind, I was like, I do not want to go help this little boy. He is so mean. He is so this, he's so that, but I feel bad. Just let me go help him. Yeah. But on my way out the door, I get a phone call. Did you see what's posted on da-da-da-da? And I was like, what are you talking about? So I went and I looked at Only Ready, which is Tiffany's page, and she had wrote this whole thing, had put something up there with Labob doing 1.8 million. He did it by himself without a manager. Those are all my visuals. What do you mean? You did it by yourself. Labob 1, Labob 2, The Ring of Fire, the laundromat, the acting out scene, Blockwork TV. That's the young man that's on the floor in the video. I had him participate in the video to help bring the video out. Like, I wanted him to always do things where you're acting things out and you're giving people scenes and stuff like that. So when I saw that, I was pissed off. And I said, you know what, it's just one of his little shenanigans that's going on. I'm not going to fall for it. He always does this. Then he says everybody's giving up on him. Everybody's doubting him and all of this other stuff. And I really didn't feel like going through it because, one, I'm trying to break away because I'm focusing on YP Savage. And then he had already sent me a text message prior to, because Mel Bands and YP Savage did a song together and he wasn't happy about it. So we was kind of shaky there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to help him. I don't care. So then next thing I see, Please Don't Lack and New York Drill Official, and he's saying this and saying that. I was like, yo, are you serious? You know, I don't have your login information for YouTube. I don't have your login information for United Masters. The first thing I tell all my artists is guard that with your heart, and put every one of your songs on a hard drive and every one of your sessions on a hard drive at the label, at the studios, so that you have your masters, and don't ever give nobody your information. So he knows I don't have his login information for YouTube. He knows I do not have his login information for United Masters. Anytime I've ever needed anything or any graphs or anything to present to the labels or to my officials, he would screenshot everything and send it to me through my phone. So he knows I don't have that information. So to blatantly put that out there, say I stole from you, said I deleted this and I did this and I did that, you're wrong and you're lying on me. Why? Because Mel did a song with YP Savage. So then you go try to do a song, and the song that you did was not that tasteful and not doing that well. So now you're just going to do anything to try to make your numbers go up so you can start making money again. That's not right. That's wrong. Tell the truth. You don't know who did it. Don't blame me, because if I did it, I'll tell you I did it. What are you going to do to me? Nothing. Get a lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? But I didn't do it, and he knows I didn't do it. So by him falsely accusing me, that made me mad. And I'm in the text messages with Please Don't Lack and everybody, I'll post your address, this and that, to make him stop. Because I have little cousins. I have nephews. My nephew is a... And he told them, my aunt manages him. Because he's mentioning... And he never knew that boy. And because of that, my nephew was like, you know, auntie. And I said, listen, leave that stuff alone. That's in the streets. I'll talk to him. And, you know, my nephew flew up from Texas. He stayed at the house. They talked and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. And that was that. But you just doing distasteful stuff to people, and people don't like that stuff. You don't do stuff like that. And especially if I did not do something like that, don't blame me for doing it. Because if I did it, trust and believe me, you would know I did it. I would have did it in the front of you, and now what? Like, you don't know me that well. I'm very, very nice. I'm very sweet. I will help you. But if I did something like that to you, I'm going to let you know I did it. Yeah, I did it. And what you going to do about it? Go get your mother. Go get this one, that one. But I didn't do it. If I did it, trust me, I would have told him I did it. But I didn't do it. And I feel bad because I registered all the music and stuff. So why would I do something like that when I'm supposed to eat off of that? That's my work. That's my husband's work. We climbed mountains. We jumped over water revenues and all types of reservoirs and graveyards and cold outside. And to shoot a video is very intricate. So we had to jump down walls and all types of stuff, and I have a spinal injury. So yes, I walked up a steep ass hill where there's mountain lions, and we got chased by one actually doing the Lay Bob 2 video. We was at the train thing, and there's a bobcat up there, and I'm screaming, let's go, let's go. And we got Capo and his twins and Carlos, and we ain't had nothing with us but a bottle of, what is that? What is the clear stuff that they, not the Tito's, but the Casamigos, a bottle of Casamigos. Like, what are we gonna do with that? Like, and I was like, run, like, and I was trying not to scream. So and I'm looking at it, I was like, run, like, Bobcat. And they're like, huh? And he's holding a dog at the time, and I'm like, Bobcat, Bobcat, and I'm just pointing. And next thing you know, they look and they just started running, and we got out of there or whatever. But that's my work. That's our work. That's our history. That's where someone can go back and say, yo, they did this, 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 and this, and we'll get paid from that. Why would I stop my money? Why would I stop feeding my family? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, I had a situation with YouTube and 300 coming up. So that kind of pissed me off because I'm thinking like, okay, what did this boy just do? Not knowing I have this situation on the table coming up. And he didn't even know, because I don't tell him stuff until it's in black and white, because anything out of black and white is just smoke up your ass. So until they send the paperwork to the attorney or send the paperwork to me, it doesn't mean nothing to me. And I was waiting for the paperwork to come. So that's kind of a low blow for me. So I'm just praying he just really hid them, and they're just going to pop back up, and he's going to be like, I got you, one of his moves again. But I don't know.
Wow. Who would, I guess, who are the people who have his password, or has he not been fully honest with you about
I don't know. He told me nobody had his password before, and he had made somebody from Warner admin. So that was a lie.
Man.
So I don't know.
Man, and could they, I guess, could the producers have their things taken?
The producers can contact YouTube, and they did it with Switch Sides.
Okay.
Well, actually, he said the producers had it taken down, but the producers threatened to have it taken down, and he was mad and in his feelings, and he snatched it down. So that's another smack in the face to Warner, because that's how they were making their money back.
Wow, off of that song, because that was one of his biggest songs.
Yes, that was one of his biggest songs.
Jesus. So this might be a crazy question, but if he would come today and just be like, hey, you know, I was wrong, I was in my feelings.
I will slap the shit out of him and then hug him and be like, you know, I didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
Because he knows I didn't.
Yeah.
But on another level, like, I still work with him, regardless of the fact, if any deals come through, any conversations come through with anyone, I have to submit them to the attorney, and I still have to send them to him, regardless if he answers or not. I just was at the house last night outside. The day before, some other stuff happened. I was around. So I am around. I do check on him. I do call his mother. On the phone with Mel. Like, so I'm
So y'all have spoken after?
Via text message.
Okay. What is his energy like when he talks to you now?
Die. I can't wait for her to stop breathing and all of this other stuff, but he didn't say it to me. He has never directly said it to me.
Gotcha.
He's only said that one thing to me when Mel did the song with YP Savage, when he sent me that text message. Outside of that, he's never been disrespectful to me. So for him to do that, and to do that on social media, I'm like, wow, me? Like, out of everybody, I would have thought he would have never, ever, ever, regardless of what anybody said about him, I thought he would never do that shit to me, because I showed him nothing but love. I taught him. I showed him the game. I showed him things that I shouldn't have showed him how to do, how to collect his royalties, how to do BMI, how to do this, how to do that. And it just hurts. It really hurts to say that you did it by yourself without a manager. Like, do you know how cold I was? Do you know we're riding around with cars, no registration, no insurance, no gas. You don't want to give up money for gas, nothing. Like, you know, and other people told me he was doing shows and stuff like that. Didn't want to give them money for gas after making $2,000-$3,000 from the show. So it wasn't just me. Like, I started getting a lot of more information from different people. So everything just started falling together.
It's a lot. Now I understand, you know, as a manager, your job is you're trying your best to make opportunities for him. When it comes to booking shows for him, what was that like for you?
Nobody wants to book him because he's a liability. So I reached out to my dear friend, Shay Baby TV, and one of his associates, and they said, you know what, Kia, we fuck with you, and we gonna do this for you. We gonna give him his own concert. They wanted to do it September 27th, but I said, no, bring it out a little bit. Let's do it like the first of the month, because I'm thinking that's when everybody gets paid. That's when everybody got their checks and stuff like that. So they'll buy the tickets. So he did the drop for the concert. Mel Bands was going to be on the card as well, and so was Debo. And we were trying to bail my Kev out at the time so that he could be home, so that he could be on the stage as well. So 2 weeks prior to the event, he says, not to me, but to Mel, he's not doing it. So I'm like, you're not promoting, but you did the drop. Can you please promote? Because the promoter is hitting me now like, hey, kid, what's up? Your boy not da-da-da. They think I'm capping. They think he's not coming. You know, can you just tell him to, you know, repost it or whatever? So Mel is like, you know, Kia, he said he wasn't doing it. And I was like, what do you mean he said he wasn't doing it? Now, mind you, I have my people put their neck on the line to do a concert for you. So I call his mother. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I got to call somebody, because now you're making me look bad. I had these people put their neck on the line for you because nobody will book you. You're the only headliner on here. It's your concert. It's a concert. You don't understand that you can make money from this. You can make money from the concert, from the door, from the ticket sales. We can tape it, put it on YouTube, and you can make money, and we can sell it as a DVD, your first concert. You don't understand business or whatever. So I speak to his mom, and his mom says to me that he didn't want to do it because he was getting threats. and there was another person on the card that was his op, and that they were threatening to do something to him. So I say to his mother, who, Mel? Who, Debo? There's nobody on that card but him. It's his concert. Yeah. And he has songs with these people. And I reached out to Kaki Kai for Kaki Kai to come do his song with him or whatever. And then I wanted to bring Famous Richard out. Like, I really wanted to make it a big event or whatever, because I like doing big things. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. So then I get word from his friends down there in Harlem, oh, he's not doing the show because he said that the show was to make up for the money that was stolen from your house. What? This don't have nothing to do with nothing. This has something to do with me showing the labels and me showing the industry that you can be booked and won't nothing bad will happen in the crowd, and you do have fans that really like your music and really mess with you.
It's
like,
all about ticket sales.
Right, but I didn't know he was doing all of this. He was doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. He would text a certain person, oh, they doing this to me or whatever, they acting funny, they rolling up on me and stuff like that, and then they would hit him back and be like, yo, what's wrong? What's happening? What's going on? This whole entire time, I don't know that you're texting your family members, telling your family members that we're trying to do something to you. Are you serious? I'm finding out so much stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was like, it's unbelievable. Right up underneath my roof. Then I had a car issue. My transmission blew in my car, and it was time for me to take my son to school. And Mel had a car at the time, and I asked Mel if I could use her car. He was mad because I used her car. Then he says to Mel, oh, the next time she wants to use the car, tell her to ask me. You living in my house rent-free, sleeping on my bed, eating my food, using my water, using my heat, using my air conditioner. What do you mean, ask you? Are you serious? And my son is the one that vouched for you and brought you here. Yeah. And brought you to the college with him, all his football games, went against some of his friends because there was a problem at Stepinac basketball game because you were there and people wanted to fight you at my son's private school. Like, damn. We took a lot. Like, we took a lot. So that's why I'm upset. Like, don't lie on me. Tell the truth. Tell the truth that I'm the only manager that ever cared and ever gave a F about you, that really showed you genuine love, got you out of every situation that you was in, and really wanted you to win. Don't try to defamate my character because you're a monster. It's not right. Just live up to what you were doing. Own up to your wrong. And this is what I keep telling him. Take your head out the cloud. Stop acting like somebody owes you something, because nobody owes you nothing. Humble yourself. Act like you're still hungry. Stop doing messed up stuff to your friends. It's not right. Stop lying to them. Stop saying you're going to do things and don't do it. Stop saying word to this and word to that and word to this and word to that and not living up on your word, because all you have is your word and your balls. That's it. And without that, what do you have? Nothing. Nothing. And then, you know, other things that are going on, like behind the scenes, that I can't even elaborate on. But if I could, like, you know, at the end of the day, we're a brand, we're a company, and this is not to bash him. Like, I really feel bad. I really wish, like, one day he just wake up and he just becomes this new person and be like, all right, you know what? I did do some effed up things, because he has a way of doing shit and then coming back and saying sorry. And then as soon as the cameras are off, he's right back to that monster, right back to whatever, you know? Yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah, but I wish him well. Yeah. See him in 3 years.
Yeah. When you say 3 years, what you mean?
That's when my contract is up. Oh. I'm in a contract with him for 3 years. There's nothing we could do about it because we're in the middle of negotiation. Gotcha. And in the middle of negotiation, and there's paperwork going back and forth and lawyers and stuff involved. People want to be paid. Yeah. So, again, and why would I delete your damn page when I have my officials doing what they're doing, trying to help you off the strength of me? Yeah. Because you did something to the biggest company in the label, Warner. They have all the stages, Summer Jam, all of that stuff. You're not on none of them. You're not booked for none of them. Drewski stage, none of them. And me and Drewski's cool. I can't even get you booked with him. Like, come on, really? He played the song, though, the E-Dot tribute. He did get the radio edit. He did play it for me. Shay Baby, he did play King Block for me. 106.3, which is BBO Flock, which is D-Thang and Shy G's friend. Yeah. They played the music for me. I met Shy G's the other day at the October event that they have for Halloween. Everything was cool. At the end of the day, I'm an adult. And I'm going to deal with whoever I want to deal with. I'm not an op. I'm not switching sides. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm making money. I'm helping kids, helping adults do whatever it is that they need to do. And it's a lot of politics in this stuff.
Absolutely. Do you find that, because something I see is that with a lot of the rappers, when it comes to, let's say they're dealing with people who are older, but they're black, it's kind of like, yo, you should pick a side. But when it's the white people, do y'all tell them to pick a side?
No. Nope, they don't tell them to pick a side at all. And one thing that, you know, some of the people in the industry say, the managers can't control these kids. They can't control them. So they just let them run ragged, do what they do, put them in bullshit contracts, rob them, and let them go about their business and don't care. And I wasn't that type of manager. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that. So I wasn't playing the game. Yeah. So I did sever a couple of relationships, but I was able to go back and speak with them and tell, listen, I didn't know, and I was just trying to whatever, and then, you know, we pieced it back up. But, you know, that shit really do stuff. The industry is very small.
Yeah. You know, something you did post when KVH had said he should have stayed with us. You know, you had said, I think you said, oh, please, you know, you robbed that boy, you know.
Yeah,
and then you
because I was upset because he sent the contract that I sent you or whatever. Again, Amani told me he didn't sign no paperwork with KVH. And I still, to this day, have not seen a document from KVH with Amani's signature on it. Yeah. He writes his name a certain way. And I'm not going to disclose that, but he writes his name a certain way, and I would know if that's his handwriting or not. And the termination paperwork that I received and what I read and all the songs that are owned by KVH now, I don't feel it's fair.
Gotcha.
It's like damn near half his catalog from 2 years ago. Like, come on, how's this kid supposed to live? If this boy ever gets a deal anywhere, he's still obligated to a percentage to you.
Still to this day.
Still right now, if he gets a deal, there's paperwork because he signed it. He said that there was an agreement with him and KVH. When he told me that he didn't have an agreement with KVH, and I ran with that. When I tell you I disputed till my face was blue. And I was like, listen, I need to speak to him. I wasn't trying to speak to him to be rude or to be nasty or to be, no, I wanted to know what the hell was going on. Because I want to know what am I getting myself into. And my superiors wasn't really telling me nothing. It's like, oh, he said that, oh, okay. I was like, no, tell me, please. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, you make your bed, you lay in it. Yeah,
you know, when I spoke to KVH, he did tell me, he was like, you know, I don't have a problem with Blockwork's manager. He was like,
good. I mean, the industry's small. I want Mel to do a song with Tata. Like, he's kind of cool.
He said that. He was like, I don't have a problem with her. I was like, but you know, when you said the whole, he should have stayed with K. I was like, that was a little shade. You didn't have to do that.
Yo, I'm like, listen, I'm a Pisces. Listen, don't. All right.
But he said that he was just like, yeah, I ain't have to do that.
Exactly.
But he really
acknowledge my phone call, acknowledge my email. Let's talk like adults. Like, we could have met over Pepsi or something, or coffee or something, a studio session or something. Like, you know, just let me know what's going on. What was your experiences with him? What was the pros? What was the cons? Is what 41 saying the truth? Like, is all this stuff happening? Was he sleeping in the car? Did he do this to you? Like, I want to know because I have this young man in my house. Like, you're not understanding. You're around my family. I need to know what's going on. That's all I wanted was closure. What's going on? So I knew to back away or to stay.
Yeah, I get it. Now, he just basically said everything that you're going through is... He says...
so why should he have stayed with him? All right? So yeah, we now we got a problem.
He's like, yo, you know...
listen, I severed your problems with him, okay? Now I got one. Could you help me?
Oh, man.
Help me out my 3 years, please.
Listen, but you know, something he did say was just like, yo, you know... I realized in the business when dealing with Shy K, dealing with Blockwork, that the business is so cutthroat. I had to start putting myself first as a manager.
Right.
And the thing I heard you say before is like, you know, I know he wasn't making money, so I didn't want to take any of his money.
Exactly.
But I hear a lot of managers do that. Like, yo, you know what? They know someone doesn't have it like that.
Exactly.
So I'm going to let you get your money. But sometimes I feel like that's a little dangerous because your client, well, let me not say your client, but your artist now feels too comfortable.
Yep.
And they start
And
to take
Blockwork
advantage.
made a comment one day on social media, oh, my manager don't take my money. My manager don't have access to none of my stuff. So how did I do anything to your YouTube page? You be capping. Go back and look at his stuff. You said it. You had the money in your hand. She don't take nothing from me. She don't have access to none of my stuff. My manager don't this. My manager don't that. He didn't even want to post me. He still was putting his information and his brother's information up there because he was still trying to do things to where I would not make my percentage from whatever I laid out for him. Oh, hit me for serious inquiries, telling me, oh, I don't want to post you because, you know, you're my manager and people might do something for you. I'm registered. Ain't nobody doing nothing to me, okay? I'm from Mount Vernon. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm your manager. They're supposed to talk to me. They're supposed to negotiate with me,
Absolutely.
not you. They don't want to talk to the artists. They want to talk to the managers.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what's going on. Sit down somewhere and do music.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Now, with him and Shy K, you know what I'm saying? Now, you get into the picture. Obviously, they're not on good terms at that time. You know, did you kind of seen as that relationship got progressively worse?
I wanted to know why.
Okay.
I wanted to know what was so bad. It couldn't just be over a song. What is so bad that you and this young man can't come to grips, because by you not coming to grips with this young man just blew a major deal with the company that I'm not going to name.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like, allegedly his mom is sick and Shaige came to his house and kicked his door in. Allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, my mom died from stage 4 breast cancer.
Rest
and
in
if
peace.
somebody came and kicked my door in with my mother in there sick, nah, he wouldn't be making music, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So he'd be on somebody's t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, no problem. I don't think they're going to be able to sever things, but I think they could be neutral.
Yeah.
And then when I got the agreement done with the D&D song, I was like, okay, maybe it's dying down. But then just the other day, allegedly, Shaike saw him buying weed in Harlem and took his weed from him, and he went running, and I don't know. I was at a baby shower. I get phone calls everywhere. Oh my God, Blockwork and Shaike, Harlem, he took his money, beat him up, and this, and I was like, what? And again, even though he did all of this stuff, I called his mother, yo, please, call him, check on him. I just got a phone call stating X, Y, and Z. Make sure he's all right.
Yeah.
I even called Mel, but nobody answered.
Yeah. You seem to I feel like it's deeper than just the business with him. Like, I feel like there's a love there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you, we was Bonnie and Clyde. That was my shadow from July 27th all the way up until this year, August, up until a month ago. Like, every day, like I moved him in his place, like I helped him in the rain. Like, do you know how it was in the rain to carry buckets and boxes and beds and like,
crazy.
you know, myself, him, and Mel, like, you know.
Wow. If you could turn back the hands of time, would you still sign him and manage him and work with him, or no?
I don't know. Just because of, you know, my husband says hell no. My integrity won't let me do it, because you went to social media to try to slander me, and you know that I really didn't do nothing to you. And if anybody was on your side, I was even arguing with your little friends. I even was saying stuff to Murder B, like everybody, you know, for saying stuff and doing stuff to you. Like, I started to feel like he was my son, and I got to get out there and defend him because they doing something to my child. Like, that's the bond that I thought that me and him had. And he said to me, like, yo, I'll never do nothing the other artists did to you and stuff like that. Yo, I'm here forever. We gonna move to Texas together and stuff like that. Like, we looked at houses and stuff, and yeah, we gonna move to Texas, and we gonna do this, we gonna do that. I was gonna relocate with him, and you know, I'm gonna help your son because you helping me with my dream, which my son didn't need no help because my son's a beast on the football field, D1 full scholarship, so he don't need your help. You know what I mean? But you live your dream and let my son do what he's doing over there. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be drafted. He's gonna be okay. But you know, I mean, I can't say you love somebody today and you don't have love for them tomorrow, because I would be lying. I still do have somewhat of a soft spot for him, because with me being a life skills coach and me dealing with kids with developmental disabilities and mental retardation and autism for over 19 to 20 years, I do know that there's an issue and there's a problem deeper that needs to be addressed. So that's what somewhat gives okay, it's a okay band-aid, but then it's not okay.
Yeah.
Because someone else is not gonna let this be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so conflicting. Like it's like
exactly.
I get
And
what
then
you're
you know,
saying.
my kids and my husband ain't gonna let me. What? They ain't gonna have a fit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd rather just wait my term, do whatever I need to do with my officials, because we're in paperwork with other people as well.
Yeah.
That's negotiating deals and stuff like that. So, and then I'm fully fledged on YP Savage's project. I'm about to work on a project with Jao Osama.
If he walked in this room right now, Blockwork,
I would probably, I told you, slap the shit out of him. You think I'm playing? I'm dead ass serious. And I'm, look, your mama looking right now.
Yeah.
You don't do that to me. Like, if
Yeah.
anybody, you owe me an apology. I was there with you in the hospital when you're throwing your guts up. And no, this is real shit. His birthday last year in the hospital, Stamford, Connecticut, in that bed, laid up, throwing up everywhere on himself. And I'm cleaning throw up and wiping his mouth and helping him. You don't do something like that to somebody that's right there with you. I didn't clown him. I didn't take pictures of him. I didn't take videos of him or nothing. I was on that staff, my son. I didn't say my artist. I didn't say nothing. My son, get to my son. There's something wrong with my son. There's something wrong with my son's stomach.
Yeah.
And for his birthday that night prior to, I gave him a party at the studio or whatever the case may be. And then the next morning he woke up real ill and had to rush him to the hospital. For what reasons, I don't know. And I still don't know what was wrong because they can't disclose to me what was wrong or whatever the case may be. But you don't do stuff like that. Not to a person that was there for you throughout whatever. And I was there through whatever. I got him out of every fucked up situation that he was in. You don't do that. I'm hurt. Yeah. I'm real hurt, and I'm hurt that you would go to the internet like I was a kid and try to play with me on the internet like I was a kid. Like if I was sitting next to him and I saw that shit, I probably would have backhand slapped him. And what are you doing? Because there was other times he would make little subs, and I would go right in the room like, yo, who are you talking to? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about. And I'm like, all right, but I knew he was.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't know that Warner was the ones that was taking his money, so that's why he was acting the way he was acting. But he still didn't apologize. He didn't say after finding out, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, well, they paid me my money and oh, well.
Yeah. Him working with Warner, I'm sure if they're investing in him, they're going to obviously give him opportunities to work with producers, artists. Was there ever a time where he worked with certain artists that could have taken his career from where he's at to a next level?
From my understanding, it was Ground Rec and Warner. They had a Ground Rec, Warner, and KVH. They had I'm not going to discredit KVH. KVH played a big part of this young man's career. Okay. The music that was played from us that couldn't be released, and I didn't understand why, and he said he didn't want to release it until he got signed, was because it belongs to Warner, KVH, and Ground Rec.
Gotcha.
And he had a feature with a something Nook in
PGF Nook.
PGF Nook in Chicago. And he stated to me that he had a connection out in Chicago. He went out to Chicago. He was with niggas on the block, and he did this feature with him, and that's his boy, and all of this other stuff. And then to come to find out, the label put that together. They flew him out to Chicago and put that together. So that's neither here nor there. So again, bits and pieces of lies come out. I mean,
man, the whole time you're with him now, what's the biggest lie you feel like you heard from him?
I took his YouTube page down.
Okay,
I'm mad about that.
Yeah, I know that's the one right there.
That and I stole money from him.
Yeah.
I stole money from him. And the concert that he was supposed to do was to make up for the money. Come on, stop lying.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you're with him. He's, I guess, blowing certain features, not showing up to shows.
Right, and not even telling me. And there's a weed company, shout out to Medicated Society.
Yeah.
Medicated Society is owned by someone at a big major label, okay? Sun. And he said, I will give you $200,000 in real money, 100 pounds of weed, cars, girls, mansions, everything for your video if you just promote the company and just do a little skit, do a little song, or we could just be in your next video, you wear the shirt, you wear the hat, and we'll provide all of this stuff to you.
Yeah.
He gets up. We're in my living room, okay? They came to my house to talk to us because my husband negotiated that deal because my husband's a grower and he goes to the sessions and stuff like that, and he does all the things with the marijuana industry because we was about to have Blockwork have his own strand. That's where he got the DOA bag from that he had in the last video. I had that printed up. I had that created for a video that was supposed to be months ago, but that's neither here nor there. And he got up and walked away as they were talking and went in the room. And I looked at them and they looked at me and I'm like, I'm sorry.
And his reasoning for that?
Because he said that he's not putting nobody else on, nobody's stealing his shine. To him, he feels if he does something with another artist or with someone else, he put them on, he made them, and he's not making nobody is as lit as him. Because that's what he tried to say about YP Savage. He says, why would you do a song with YP Savage when he's not as lit as me? This boy did 4 million by himself on the freestyle fresh out of jail. No feature, no label, no budget, no nothing. And he's streaming. What do you mean he's not as lit as you? I offered you to do the feature with him prior to because his whole neighborhood is behind him. When I tell you that YP Savage's family, friends, love him, brothers love him, and they support him and everything that he do with his music, they support him. And that would have been a great look for money because he could have came down to the Greens in Bridgeport. They could have did a video together. It could have been all of his friends, and then we could have went to Harlem with all of his friends, and it would have been a great big, you don't look by yourself in every video. You understand what I'm saying? And I was just trying to create that empty space, like you're always by yourself. Nobody want to just keep seeing you jumping around. It's boring. I don't want to watch it. Your numbers are going down. What's up? Like, let's do something different. And it's frustrating. It's just frustrating. You can't make him do nothing.
Yeah. What did you think when you seen the whole situation with recently him, Bloody, Debo, all
that hurt because again, I reached out to Bloody and I tried to squash that, and they said just tell him to come to the block and talk to us or whatever. And Bloody was willing to do a song with Blockwork and everything. He was going to do a song with them and everything. Wow. And then I'm not doing no song with them. Oh, niggas just trying to use me. I even reached out to Keem, and Keem had his manager say, if Blockwork want to talk to me, you tell Blockwork to reach out to me. Don't have his mother reaching out to me, which I'm not his mom, but I guess he didn't know who it was that was on JPay trying to reach out to him to try to fill this void so that he wouldn't be alone and he could get a deal, because you can't get one because you can't be booked. You don't have nobody with you. And you just a problem to everybody. So I was trying to make him not be the problem. What can we do to solve this problem? And Bloody said, you know, to be honest, he did too much, but I'm willing to, you know, talk to my manager. And, you know, this is business. So I gave him the utmost respect for that. Wow. And then you turn around and you doing all of this. You're only doing this because now you need your numbers to go up. So you're using these people for views and for streams and stuff like that. You're a user, and that's wrong. I have so many people reaching out to me for artwork. I've been paying that because you're not paying for the artwork. Your page got taken down. You were supposed to pay the young man $750. You only sent him $500, and the only reason why you sent him the $500 because he was threatening to take the page down permanently or whatever. So I was like, listen, you can't text these people saying that you're going to pay them. These are contracts. Even though they're texts, they're contracts. And you have to live up to those contracts because you're going to get sued. And I was just tired of cleaning up his mess. And then when he said that his mom taught him and told him to get it however he get it and don't give nobody nothing, again, that really hurt me because, damn, are you doing that to me? And then you're doing it to all of these other people and producers. And that's why I started reaching out to the producers again and everybody and trying to make things right and trying to register the stuff so that they could make it too, because it's all about everybody eating. It's all about everybody making it. And how could I be for everybody if I'm going to be your manager and let you do all these other people wrong? That's karma that can come back to me knowing that this stuff is happening. And I don't want bad karma. I have 3 children. I'm about to have a grandchild. I have a husband. I have myself. Like, no. I have other artists that could affect them. So no, I have to think about everything. When you do certain things, you can't do certain things because there's a outside person other than him. There's a other artist other than him that you're going to need these same people for that you're going to bet about him for. So it's just a mess. It's just a big mess.
Wow. Now, earlier you said you worked with Munna.
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about that your experience with that. Now,
I worked with Munna and I worked with Munna.
okay.
Sin is a star.
Yeah.
Hands down, on any given day, Sin is a true star. He's versatile. He's good spirited. Zay's cool too. Like, Zay really don't talk. Zay's a tourist. So he reads people, he watch people energy and stuff like that. And he just did something that was just distasteful, and it just didn't sit right with me. When I first sat down with Zay on November 15th, it's crazy, November 15th, we sat down at my house, me, him, Juice, Glock, AP, and Sim Munna. That's when they put Chase Munna Music together. And they said that they wanted to start their label. So I printed out all of this paperwork, NDAs, split sheets, all types of stuff. And I said, do not put your name on nobody's nothing. Don't put your voice on nobody's nothing until you fill out this paperwork. You do your BMI, you get your numbers, you register your music and stuff like that. Because I would hate for you to have a song go viral and you can't get signed because your paperwork is not together.
Yeah.
So he sends me a song and he says, I have a song with Ron Suno, whatever. I listen to the song. My husband listened to the song. We like, yo, this shit gonna go.
Yeah. So y'all instantly knew it was gonna do well.
We have an ear for music. If I tell you and my husband tell you it's a hit, it's a hit. I said, yo, this song's gonna go. Immediately, you dancing, you moving, this gonna go. This is a hit. That song is still moving. And it's called What They're Gonna Say.
Yeah.
And he didn't listen to me. He let them put the song out. They did the video. He didn't tell me about the video shoot. He didn't tell me when they was releasing the song. And it went really well. And as of right now, allegedly, because I don't know, but he didn't receive no benefits from it. And that's where things went left. Because I'm fighting for his rights. Because as an artist, if your voice is on something, you're entitled to your writer's portion. And I guess it was an agreement between the boys that I would put him on a song with Ron Suno to help bring his numbers up so that he can get noticed as a favor. So it was more or less of a favor than him getting paid for the song. But me as a manager, me as a label executive, me doing the right thing, no, he's about to have a baby. He needs his money. Like, he needs his portion of the song. He needs his rights to the song so that they can see his streams as well. And based off of that, he can get the proper deal that he's supposed to have. So that's where that whole thing went. We did a show in December with Raps and Receipts with Mike Hall. Mike Hall used to work with G. Nelson from Atlantic Records. And they did an amazing job. I did the show track. I took them out there normal of doing a whole song. I did a song and a hook, a song and a hook, a song and a hook, and they went crazy. Like, I was really proud of them, really proud of them. Down to the promoter wanted them to do a Geek in a Party, which was the last song that was on the track. They wanted them to do it again, and they up there dancing and jumping around and stuff like that. And it was cool. I went to a couple of video shoots and stuff. I went down to Third Side. I did a little video thing with like some of the people from his block with the shirts and stuff like that. Free Zay Munna. I went to the Rowdy Rebel and the Ron Suno remake of What They're Gonna Say. I went to that video shoot. I participated in that. I was thankful for Bo for having us come be a part of that. And I did a booking for them in Binghamton, New York, through some of my people so that they can go up there and perform, make some money, make some kids happy and stuff like that. And unfortunately, he was arrested in the process of a negotiation of a deal. So,
wow. So he was looking to get signed.
Yes, off of What They're Gonna Say, because the numbers was going so crazy. My officials was like, "Yo, get him on the phone, get him in here, let's talk." And I'm like,
wow.
He's kind of away right now, but he's coming home like real soon. He's gonna be bailed out. We have this meeting, and Bo reached out to the label, and there's this lady that's acting like she's such and such, and she's crazy, and she's this and she's that, and they're like, we know her. We know her. We don't want to deal with you. And that's when they opened up to me and, said what they said. They didn't want any parts to do with him. they wanted me to go in and grab Zay and bring Zay to the table without having to deal with Bo because of alleged endeavor that they had prior to with the Ron Suno thing. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Man. Now, do you speak to Zay from time to time? What's the relationship like now?
I DM Zay periodically, and we talk periodically. I send him money sometimes through Cash App and stuff like that. But a lot of things has transpired between other people saying things to him, doing things, relaying messages back and forth. Oh, he say don't talk to you, or he said F you, or he say this, or he say that. But it was a time where Zay said to me, like, don't listen to what nobody got to say. Let's, I say whatever. So until Zay says to me, I don't mess with you, or I don't deal with you, or I don't want to talk to you, or don't talk to me no more, or don't text me no more, then I'm going to always be Team Zay. I mean, he never did nothing to me. That boy never did nothing to me. So I don't have nothing bad to say about him at all. And I love his son. Like, his son is adorable. I was in his life for a period of time, and I enjoyed that as well.
Did you see that video? There was a video with him. I think he was like coming out of court, and then he's kind of like, okay,
right.
Like,
and he went, and I commented. He went to his son. His son kind of shied down and moved away. If you know that baby, he's so loving and he's so caring, and it's just something that bond that him and his father have, where he'll close his eyes and he does that to everybody. He does it to me, and then he'll open up his eyes and he'll run to you. So, people looking at that and trying to put that in a negative aspect, that's a loving and caring child, and that boy really loves his son. So at the end of the day, they're trying to make something negative out of nothing. That little boy is 1 year old, just turned 2, and that's his father. He leaned on his grandmother. Like, they have their little thing that they do. He closes his eyes, he waves his hands, he loves PJ Masks. Like, I love that little boy. I love that little boy. I don't care. I'll be Zay up for his son. For his first birthday, that's how I met his child's mother. Gotcha. Zay allowed me to go down to the birthday party. I went down to the birthday party. I bought gifts down there in the honor of Zay Munna for his son or whatever. And he was on FaceTime with his son the whole time, or whatever the case may be, allegedly. I'm forgetting where he at, So he speaks to his son. The family speaks to the baby and stuff like that. So people need to stop trying to make a negative out of nothing. Like I feel bad for what's going on with Zay right now, and I really hope that he come home and everything works out for him. He never showed me nothing bad, so I don't have nothing bad to say about him at all.
Understandable.
At all. It was like other people doing stuff that caused things, but it was never a direct with me and him. Never. So
was there ever like a conflict of interest, being that you're managing Zay, managing Blockwork? Did they even ever have like tension amongst them, or?
Okay. I told Zay and I told Sin that when my son reached out to Amani and he reached back out to me, I immediately told Zay and I immediately told Sin that I managed Blockwork, because I had put him in my bio or whatever, and they was like, I don't care. I'm like, okay. So then I said, the Blockwork, I managed Zay Munna and Sin, right? And I played the music in the house and everything. So like, I'm a fan. If I manage you, I'm your fan. I'm your biggest fan. And he was like, oh, I don't have no problem with him. I never met him. I don't know him. I never saw him before. I'm 18 years old. I don't know nothing about him. And I'm like, okay, but why would Zay be mad at this little boy if he don't know him? I said, forget it. But me, I'm still inquisitive. I want to know what's going on. And later on down the line, it comes out that there was a message a year prior to where Blockwork told him, take care of your son, up underneath a post. And that came out later on. So now, like, you lied to me. You told me that you had no problem with him. You didn't know him. Y'all don't know each other. You lied. But Zay said he didn't have a problem with him or whatever. And Zay still didn't tell me if he do or if he don't, because we never really spoke on it. But then people are telling me, oh, Zay don't want to mess with you because you manage Blockwork. He don't want his son around you because you manage Blockwork. But that did not come from Zay. Because when I was on the phone with Zay, and I could prove it, he says to me, oh, you not my friend no more because you manage Blockwork? And I was like, no, I'm always Munna. And he started laughing, all right. And that was just our little joke that we had. So where's the issue with me and him, and where's the problem with me and Zay? I found that me dealing with his child's mother is where the problem came with a lot of stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. When Zay come home, me and Zay, I have our little talk.
Yeah, gotcha. Was there ever any like, because there's rumors of them doing stuff to, like, I guess Blockwork, messing with women around Zay, or Zay messing with women around Blockwork. Was there ever anything that came out with that?
I spoke to Zay.
Yeah.
I spoke to Zay.
Okay.
Spoke to Zay.
Yeah. I guess.
I spoke to him.
Okay. Gotcha.
I spoke to Glock.
Yeah.
I spoke to them.
Yeah. Intense conversation or?
Not at all.
Okay. Gotcha.
Everything was smooth. We don't have no beef.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gotcha.
I love him.
Now, did you ever think for a second that, all right, this guy is from Sugar Hill, he's OY.
I don't care nothing about that.
This guy's Crip.
That's not my concern. My concern is getting you to stream. My concern is to getting your bio. My concern is getting your mass press release done. My concern is getting you charting. My concern is getting your views up. My concerns are getting you streaming. My concern is getting you through that door, because my officials know that I'm going to put that package together to hand it to them.
Absolutely.
And it's like, soon as I get an artist to pack it to phase 1, and we go to phase 2, it's like, okay, we don't need her no more, because now we making money. She done straightened out our paperwork. Now we're these independent artists. We don't need a label.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
I feel like they're thinking on such a small scale, because it just shows like, you never made money to think,
This is a little bit of money.
Yeah, the
of
potential that you can actually reach,
Exactly.
Man.
And you need a label, because, come on, you want to book a show. You don't have $1 million insurance for these arenas and stuff like that if something happens. So you got to think outside the box.
That's things people don't think about until they're in the issue.
Not at all.
That's the problem.
Not at all.
Man, so I guess now, obviously you have the company. Who are some of the artists that you're excited about working with, and what are you planning to do?
Osama and YP Savage. Like, I want to work with Mel so bad, but I still manage Mel. Don't get me wrong, I still manage Mel. I love Mel, but I can't elaborate on certain things. But I just pray everything falls into place where she's a great artist. She's a great young lady. She has a great personality. I just wish she just get it together so we could just go fly straight. Like, we had Nicki Minaj's A&R fly in from LA to go do a session with her. So, that's a big thing. And then I got Ja. Like, I'm not trying. He's going to go do this song that I want him to do. And we going to make it do what it do. I go full throttle. I bring them outside of their character, and I make them do real music. Like, let's do music. If you're going to talk that shit, you're going to talk that shit. We're going to bring the visuals to it, and we're going to make it happen. Don't talk it if you ain't going to talk it. Don't talk it if you're not going to bring it to real life with the visuals. So I like doing that. I like writing video treatments. I like being outside. I like doing things, because at the end of the day, I don't have to do this. I'm where I am, and my husband is where we at in our career. If an artist are doing their numbers like they're supposed to be doing, I can submit them, and if their song is doing what it's supposed to be doing, I can get them a deal at any label that's willing to take them. So I don't have to do artist development, but I do it because I want to be with the artist when they're there trying to make it. So when they're sitting up on that stage, that one person believed in me, that one person was right there with me, didn't turn their back on me, gave me the structure, taught me everything, and like really put it together. And like Capella Gray said during his live, he says, nobody manages like you. There's no other managers out here like you. And I get so many DMs and so many messages. Can you manage me? Can you manage me? Can you manage me? And I'm just like, damn, I wish it was more of me or more people like me that would really take the time and develop these artists and like really do what they do. And like I tell people, I could put you in front of a label, but they're going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. Get your numbers up. What are you making on YouTube? What are you making on United Masters? Where's your split sheets? Do you have BMI? Do you have ASCAP and stuff like that? So why not get all your stuff together now? Your web pages and your merch and your logos and, the basic stuff.
Gotcha. So what's next for you? What's if you could I guess, plan out the next few months, the next few years for the company? What is next?
Well,
what do you see that looking like?
For the next few months, the next few weeks, I'm pushing YP Savage heavy on the radio. He's heavy in rotation on the radio. Soon he'll be on major radio stations. Right now he's on 106.3 in Connecticut. He's in New Jersey. He's in Chicago. He's streaming a little bit in the UK. And now while he's doing whatever he's doing at this present moment, I'm going to still be structuring his project, and I'm going to be working hard with Ja to get his stuff together, get all his stuff in order, put him in place, and get him next up.
Gotcha. I guess, man, I guess final words to the people, fans, about the company, anything. What would be the final words you would leave with
No, music can depend on me. McDom all day.
There you go.
One-stop shop. You see my work.
Listen, let's do it. Listen, McDom, I truly appreciate your time.
Of course.
I was a little scared, last week when we couldn't do it. I was like, oh, is she backing out? I ain't sure. But
you know
told
what?
me.
To be honest,
Yeah.
my dad flew in from Atlanta or whatever, and I was kind of skeptical because I was like, listen, I don't want to go bash this kid. I'm a brand, we're a company. And just so much stuff just kept happening. So the more the stuff started happening, I was like, no, I have to go clarify some of this stuff because I don't want people looking at me like, oh my God, if she manages me, she's going to take my stuff. She's going to do this. She's going to do that.
Yeah.
No, the hell I'm not. Like, I'm going to fight with you. Like, this is my project. Like, this is my work. Like, this is my music. I'm not going to do that. So again, that really hurts. That hurts. If anything ever hurt me, that hurt. That hurt bad.
I just told somebody too. I was just like, I heard this and I was like, wow, I'm not a person that likes to address things, but then I remember I heard something where it's just like a lie that goes unchecked becomes the truth, and that made me look at it like, yo, you know what?
Right.
Like sometimes you don't have to go crazy, but you might have to speak up because you do have a brand.
Exactly.
And I my girl always telling me like, listen, you might not want to speak up, but you got a brand and you leading us, so you better talk.
Right, because people, listen, people are going to talk about you if you're doing something great. People are going to talk about you if you're not doing something great. People are going to talk about you if you're broke. People are going to talk about you if you have money. They always have a freaking opinion.
Absolutely.
They always body shaming. Right now, you're going to get 1,000 comments. Oh, she lying. Oh, she this. Oh, she that. Oh, That's just what people do. That's just what they do because they're not happy in their own skin. They're not out there doing what they can do to their full potential. So they have to do things and point things out on other people to shy away from their downfalls of what they're not doing in their life. Because there's no way in hell I could be on somewhere doing this and doing that and I got so much going on for myself. Some of the stuff I don't even see what they post because I'm doing other stuff. Unless somebody directly sends it to me, I don't know what nobody posts and I don't care. I have other things to do. I have other endeavors to do. I have other work to do. I have other artists. I have meetings. I have kids. I have a life. I have a husband. I have a family.
That's it. Let the people know how they could reach you if there's an artist out there, you doing them numbers and you need that.
Right. If you're doing numbers and your numbers are real numbers, because I ran into an artist that didn't have real numbers and I got him to that point and the numbers weren't real. But if you are doing your thing, you're hardworking, or even if you want me to listen to your music to give you some pointers or help you with the role plan or anything, I am always open to help you. A lot of people know this because they do call me. I do answer phone calls. I do answer DMs and stuff like that. And there's a message that someone said that every artist that I work with is a failed artist. I can't fail an artist. An artist can fail themselves because if they don't put forth that full potential to do what they need to do as an artist, what am I supposed to do? I can't sell your music for you. If you're lying to me and misleading me, what am I supposed to do? So don't blame me for their failures. They failed themselves. I didn't fail them. I'm still here. I'm still going. I got YP, I got Ja, and any other artist that I want to work with. I'm still here. I still have the same connections. I still have the same heart and the same love.
There you go. McDom,
That's right. I ain't tapping out. I'm busting through a door with an artist or
There
two.
you go. Always tapping in, never tapping out.
Exactly. Never tapping out.
I appreciate your time. Much blessings to you, your family, your company, and all your artists.
Thank you.